Welcome to How to Start a Website 2.0. You can find the blog article that goes with this session at howtostartawebsite2.com/theme options. All right, welcome back. In the last video, just to give a quick recap, we went into our dashboard and we searched for a free theme, loaded it, and took a look around at some basic settings. In this video, we're going to go more in depth with the options that are available in this particular theme, and this theme is called Graphene. So if we go into our dashboard, in order to get back to those settings, you would come over to the left-hand side, hover over Appearance, and we can come right down to Graphene Options and click. Some of the general settings that are available, we can have a slider, and that's what you're seeing on the top of the content area. Is that this is a slider and it's showing our 4 latest posts at the moment. We can have it show random posts. We can show a specific post and pages. We can show posts from a particular category. We can even choose how many we want to display. Maybe there's only one particular post we want to feature. We can say, we'll just, show one, and then you can go in and determine which post that's going to be. Do you want this slider to include a featured image if you've uploaded a featured image with your post or your page? You can also have a custom image URL that it would pull from. You can pull from like your image gallery. And then what size? Okay. Basically, your slider display style. You can have it show the thumbnail of your featured image and an excerpt of the post, or just the background image and an excerpt, or you can show the full post in that box. If it's a long post, that would be pretty awkward, but nonetheless, that option is available. You can change the height of the slider by entering a specific number of pixels. So I have no idea, maybe that's about 300. Let's say, what happens if we say we want it to be 600 and save all options and come over and refresh? Yeah, now it makes it huge. So I'm kind of guessing if you want to display like a full post and it's pretty long, you're going to want to change how big the slider area is. As you can see, now I've got a bunch of white space. Maybe you want it to be a lot slimmer. Let's see what 250 pixels looks like. Well, that looks pretty close to what it might have been before. You can change the slider speed as far as how fast it rotates. The slider transition speed. I guess that's like one frame fading into the next. And then you can also move the slider to the bottom of the page. Maybe you don't want it to be the very first thing at the top like that blocking your home page. You can, by checking this box, move it to the bottom. In fact, let's check that out. Because I don't particularly care for the slider at the top. I usually just disable it because I think it's a distraction. So there you go. Now my static home page is up at the top where I like to have it. And then if the person gets down to the bottom, then it's something additional for them to look at. And I kind of like that better. But if you didn't want the slider at all, you can just click here and say disable the slider. And now if you save that and come back over to the website and refresh, now the slider is gone completely. So that's the slider. Let's go on to infinite scroll. Do you want to enable infinite scroll, or let's see, for post or comments, you can enable infinite scroll, or you can just enable infinite scroll for comments. And I don't like the infinite scroll. Maybe it's just because I have problems controlling my slider, I tend to jump around pages. I don't like really long pages for that reason, so I'm not going to enable any of these. Front page options. Okay, so these options are not available if you're using a static front page, which I am. So I would have to go in and disable that for you to be able to see what the other options are in here. So home page panes. You can either disable home page panes, type of content to show either your latest post by categories, or posts and or pages, and the number of latest posts to display is 2. So what the devil is home page panes? I'm going to guess that's probably these right here. So if I disable that and save all changes and refresh, now they're gone. So that's what your home page panes were. Comment options. When people are commenting, you can either just use the WordPress settings. You can disable for pages or disable completely. For this particular site, I'm going to disable completely because it's just a practice test site. I'm hoping nobody's gonna, come here and actually find this site to use it or comment on it, but we're gonna disable it. So now if I come back out and refresh, now the comment section is gone. And I don't like having comments on pages. I do ordinarily leave them on for my blog posts, but I don't like to have them on for pages. So child page options. So hide parent box if content is empty. Okay, so what that means is when we get into changing how we want our navigation menu to look, we can actually put menus within menus. And it's asking, well, if the top one is empty, do you want to show ones below it? Or do you want to hide the top parent box if the content is completely empty? And if that's the case, you can check that box. And the child page listings, if that particular navigation, so if this is the parent, as far as the children menu options below, do we want to show the listing, hide the listing, or only show listing if the parent content is empty? And you have all of those you can choose from. I'm not going to make any selections here because we haven't done anything with our menu bar yet to take a look at how these settings impact what we do. And now the widget area options. So there is a header widget area. It's unstylized, however, and they have it in place that if you wanted to do advertisement banners, you would be able to enable it and then do your own CSS stylizing for that area. And if you want to enable it, you just check this box. Alternate widgets. You can enable a theme to show different widget areas in the front page or the rest of the website. And if you enable this option, additional widget areas that will only be displayed on the front page will be added to the widget settings area. Okay, so what this means is, and this was another reason I really like this theme, if you can make your front page have a completely different widget setup than the rest of your site. So if you want to make your home page into a landing page, you make the content area be just what you need it to say to try to entice somebody onto your email list, and then maybe the only other widget that would show up on that front page would be your opt-in box, and you can have everything else turned off. But say, maybe once they click over into your about page or your contact page or onto the blog, then you could have other widget areas that come up, like maybe showing your latest blog post or your most visited blog posts, or other options or offers or content that you have available to your reader to look at. So I am going to enable the alternate front page sidebar widget area. And you can also, for the same thing, for the footer widget area, you can have an alternate set for just the home page, and I'm going to enable that as well, and we'll save those options. Now, we're not really going to be able to see how that changed anything to the website until we go over to the widgets and start filling these widget areas in with something. So top bar options, as you can see right now, if I go over to the website, this is this area right here, and it has a search feature and an RSS feature. Honestly, you don't want people on your RSS. You want them signing up for your email to get your latest updates. So don't even give them this option. And if you're relatively new, you don't want a search option either, because more than likely it's just going to frustrate people because you don't have that much content on your site to search through. So in the beginning, I kind of recommend just getting rid of that altogether as well. So if we come back over into our dashboard, yes, hide that top bar. We don't want it. Save all options. Now if we come back over and refresh, that's gone. So social sharing buttons. Do you want to show social sharing buttons? So if I click that, do you want to show your sharing buttons on pages as well? And I don't. I only show those buttons on my blog posts. I don't put them anywhere else. And do you also want to include them on the home page and the archive pages? Again, I don't. I only put them on blog posts. And where do you want them to show up? You can have them on the bottom of your post, the top of your post, or you can do both top and bottom, which looks kind of awkward if it's a really, really short blog post. I'm going to put it at the bottom of the post because I'm going to assume that by the time the person gets to the bottom of the page, that means they've read the entire thing, and they're well engaged, and if they feel it's a shareable item, that might be when they're most likely to click a share button. So I'm going to put them at the bottom of the post, and we're going to save those changes. Now, the other nice thing about this theme is it is optimized for showing AdSense advertising. So if you were planning to build out this site to be more of a micro niche site, where you're basically just going to do a little bit of high intense relevant content, but just put advertising on it, you could click this button and it would give you an area. Let me click it here. It would give you an area to put your AdSense code. And the other nice thing about this theme is it makes sure that you are adhering to Google AdSense's terms as far as, how much advertising are you allowed to display on a single web page at a time. This theme will go through and search for instances where you may have put in too many ads, and it won't show some of them, just so you don't get into trouble with AdSense for breaking the terms and policies. Do you want ads to show on the front page as well? You could also click that. I don't plan on doing any advertising, so I'm going to leave that off. And there is also a section to put your Google's analytics code. So once you go over and get a Google Analytics account, they give you a little script code. You would paste that right into this box and save all your options, and now your theme will track visitors that come to your web pages through your Google Analytics. Now your footer options. All right, so if we go over to the website, this is what is showing up in the footer section now, and you have the ability to change all of that. Maybe you don't want to show the copyright info, which you could just check that box. Maybe you don't want to show the return to top link, and you can just check that box. You can use Creative Commons license for the content by checking that box. And then, of course, you have this box that you can put in other information as well, and it would show up in that footer section. And we have print options. So do you want to enable the print CSS for single posts and pages? I believe if you check that box, you show a little print button. And let's see, we'll go and take a look at that and refresh the page. So now what happened was it puts a little printer up here. So let's say you're doing a recipe site and you want people to be able to easily print the recipes from your website. You might enable this function so that people would then be able to quickly and easily just print the page without having to do, without having to highlight the text in order to do it. So let's save all of those changes. All right, I think that's where I'm going to stop with this video. I'm going to do this in shorter chunks because there are so many options to go through, and I don't want this to be an hour-long video. I want to give you the ability to take breaks in between each section, or fit this information in into your day or into your week in a more comfortable and convenient way. So in the next video, we will go through the display options. Thank you for watching and listening to another session from How to Start a Website 2.0. This episode is just one of many available inside my online course. Register for free today at howtostartawebsite2.com/thevault.